Good morning and welcome to a More Than Meets the Eye Blindformers crossover video. Today we're going to be talking about Transformers Studio Series Core Class Steeljaw, a cassette bot, and I am very happy to have a cassette bot. I hate that I have to get the Perceptor to get the other two, but I am going to be trying my best to get that Perceptor because I do want those other two cassette bots, and because I think they're a lot of fun. I've got a lot of them here. I've got multiple laser beaks. For some reason, I have 3 laser beaks. I don't know how that happened. I have 2 that transform regularly, and then I have one that I have Soundwave holding. And it has 2 little feet on it, and I forgot where it came from. I only have 2 Ravagers though, and they both transform exactly the same as one another. But I got all the Tapecons out here. I got Rumble and Frenzy and some Autobots and some bat-shaped guys and 3 laser beak style things. I wonder if they're different characters. Let me know. How many different characters of cassette bots do I have here? Because it is easy for me to forget which one is which. So let's get into today's video. Without further ado, please go below, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. All of those things go a long way to helping me raise awareness for the blind and the visually impaired through my videos about Transformers. All right, to start the video off, we're going to hit the eject button on Blaster here. We're gonna work to pull this cassette tape out. We are starting in cassette mode, so we're gonna set Blaster off over here to the side and talk about cassette mode. Actually, before we move Blaster, let's talk about one accessory that comes with this set. That Blaster nuts. Where did I put it? I did not mean to. There it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna put you guys back over here, up to the side. Stand up. Stand. Thank you. Okay, here we go. He comes with a speaker. That is a thing that Steeljaw comes with, and this speaker can be just kind of plugged onto the hand of Blaster here. Yeah, I almost said Jazz. I keep wanting to say Jazz or Blaster. I wish they had named him Jazz instead. There we go. And it just kind of sits there. It doesn't want to stick in place very hard because of the way that his hand works. But it does sit there, and the way the hand motion moves, you can kind of position it to do in different ways. I think that's kind of neat. I wish it held on better, that's for sure. But I do like the fact that we get this cool little accessory to go with Blaster. None of the other cassette bots or Tapecons came with such cool things for Soundwave. So let's set this guy off to the side. Stand up straight. Don't. There you go. Okay, let's move on to our nuts. Just knocking stuff over here at blind_prime. That just happens when you go blind. You're going to knock stuff over all the time. Better be prepared for that, I tell you. Get rid of your tall glasses. All right, here we go. There's the 2 pieces we need. He comes with these 2 extra accessories. One of these is a tiny little backpack. It's got all these little things on it. Little ridges and stuff, but this is for the wherever I put it. There it is. This is for holding the speaker so that Steeljaw can actually carry the speaker around with him into battle. We will get to this later on in the video, and I will knock something over multiple times this video because I've got a lot of little things on the table today. Let's set that part. His other part he comes with reminds me of Kaiser Liger. I think that was his, or Blade Liger. Very, very, very reminiscent of Blade Liger with these fun little blades and the little tail bit. I like the fact you get a little armor piece you can plug onto him. So let's get him transformed. First off, you want to go ahead and wiggle these. The front of this cube mode, this cassette is definitely different from Ravager. I was getting into this thinking I was going to have very similar experience to Ravager. I was wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we've got to pull these guys up. But when we pull them up, we can't pull them up too far. We've got to first reach our thumbnail in there and pull his little lion head out, okay? So you're going to pick this one up just enough to clear that edge of the cassette tape, okay? So because you can't pull the head out if it's laying flat. It just won't work. There we go. Both of the line heads are pulled out of the mains, and then we're going to squeeze these together and create one solid unit. Look at it. Look at it. It's square. Okay, next step is that unit is going to move, but we won't move it just yet. We'll move it in a second. Next part is we're going to come around here to the back, and because now that we have a head, we can classify the other end as the rear. You want to peel these little gun bits off the sides. They're going to rotate upwards and around, okay? You're going to rotate up and around. Next step is you're going to come over here to his other little feet. And we're going to pull, we're going to push this foot forwards and down so that the foot will actually kind of be going to the edge of this mane while his head is still folded down, okay? So foot goes to the edge of the mane on both sides. Now the back area, the back leg piece that we just finished dealing with, it actually has legs hidden in it. It does. Trust me, it's weird, and I am down for it. So, but it is a pain to get these legs out. They don't ever want to leave their little homes. So you got to really work at it right here. Because this is a solid connection. Nothing negative to say about this connection except the fact that it's so small. It is so small. Come on. Come on. There it goes. Okay. All right. Next one. There it goes. Finally got it. Okay. So next step is these guys are going to rotate so that the feet are facing the correct way. I don't know why this entire thing can seem to rotate around in a circle. It's very odd to me that it does that because it doesn't really work for the transformation. Like if you do it like that, these legs aren't going to be in the right shape with the rest of the legs. I don't know why you can rotate his rear 360 degrees when it's not necessary. Very, very odd in my opinion. So we're going to move the legs down, and we're going to move the guns up. There we go, gun and gun. And now his legs are facing down, the other legs are facing down, all the toes are in the right position. Then to finalize it, just pick the head up and imagine the eyes glow. Now, final bit, take his little backpack piece, and that's going to plug into this little port on his back. Yeah, a lot of these cassette cons or cassette bots, tape cons, have a peg that you can fold out to be used as like a shield or something. But this guy's got peg holes, and it's used to plug in this little tail section. And then once you plug in the little tail section, you can move the little knives up above his mane, and there you have. He is the first cassette bot that just has guns that unfold. This guy can just shoot them up. I think Ravager has little missile pods that unfold, but here, we'll grab a little Ravager and compare them real quick. We got a little Ravager here and a little Steeljaw. And Ravager is just a bit longer than Steeljaw because of the way his transformation works. I did really believe that they were going to have very similar transformations, but they are very different. And height-wise, they're about the same height, though the mane definitely wins on height. And I knocked off this little piece. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Okay, so sometimes these little blades are going to fall off the side of his little tail section. You just got to pull it up, feel with your finger, find that little hole, and we're just going to plug it back into that little hole. There we go. There we go. Now, let's go over this figure and talk about his textures and stuff, and then we're going to show you his gimmick. So we'll set Ravager off to the side, and at the front, he's got a really nicely sculpted little lion head. You know, I'm not really expecting much from these tape bots, these Cassetticons, because of the way that, you know, they have to form into a cassette tape that fits inside of a certain area. So they are really struggling to get all the detail that they can with the restrictions that they're given. But I do love that, necessity is the mother of invention, and they came up with unique ways to do it. Now, the feet don't really have much going on for them texture-wise. And the side of the guns actually have some really nice textures on them. I like the barrel sticking out of the front. I enjoy the little lines etched into the sides of it. It is a fun little gun. You can tell that this is a gun that goes on either side of them. It's even got a little, what feels like, if it wasn't so close to the body, you could actually plug a blast effect into that. And you know what? just because we do this on the show, let's go ahead and grab a blast effect and take a look-see. So we're going to grab a lightweight blast effect. Do we have a lightweight blast effect that I can grab? Oh boy. Well, we got this one. This was pretty lightweight. So let's go ahead and, though it's big, it's also lightweight. So we can go ahead and plug this into his gun barrel on the back. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah. And then he can let out, boom, he's just got a huge explosion. As Marco, and huge baloosh. Goes Transformer in reviews. I like Go for his balooshiness. So that's the fun little bit going on there. Now let's go ahead and unplug the back bit with the blades. The blades, by the way, are not really much to write home about. Very, very minimalistic on the textures, but they were working with what they had to work with. Though they did manage to put some nice textures in the tail section. Now, where is that other piece I was talking about earlier? Here it is. So we're going to take this other piece and we're going to plug it in. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I keep forgetting which is which. So experiment and have fun. Let's grab this thing. Now, this little piece, the speaker piece has this huge square hole where the hand fits, but there's a little etching on the side, and I think that's where you're supposed to plug the piece. But I'm never really right about these things. Let's go ahead and lower those guns so they're not in the way. And the best way I found to do it is just spin it and try. Spin it and try. You can't go wrong. I did it right the first time. Yay! So he gets a giant speaker on his back, and it's goofy, and it's weird, and it's totally Transformers, and I absolutely love it. So, my final thoughts on this figure is the cassette tape mode is lacking a little bit. It is difficult to get it into Jazz's chest, but it's still a cassette tape, so it gets an A, a simple A, not a plus or a minus, just a general A for having accomplished the job it was doing, but it didn't go above and beyond what was expected of it. The little robot mode, I think it's wonderful how much they managed to get in there for such a shape and size with the restrictions that they had to work with. I think they managed to do a wonderful job at it. I'm going to give his little robot mode an S rank because I think it's just totally worth the S rank. It's a fun little cassette. Then finally, the transformation. The transformation is kind of easy, very intuitive, and the transformation is definitely going to get an A minus. But can't really expect more from that. The transformation is what it is, and they did the best they could with the restrictions given to them. So A minus, single A, S rank, all that comes together to equal an A plus. He is an A plus action figure for sure, especially now by himself I consider him a B plus. But if you have Blaster, if you have other cassette bots, tape cons or cassette cons or tape bots, however we want to say it, then this guy is definitely A ranked. He is a must-have for your little collection. He definitely brings out different flavor and everything, and I really appreciate having a new tape former that becomes a little lyin. I appreciate that a lot, and I think he's a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've been able to help you out whenever it comes to this cassette con, tape bot, cassette bot, tape con, whatever you want. Thanks again for watching. Check me out tomorrow. We should be doing a massive box opening, so look forward to that. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.